So somebody asked the question in my last video that how to build faith in your imaginal act and in your imagination. And I answered by saying that it's via practice. How do you build trust in somebody? This somebody, your big brother or your father or your somebody that you trust, this relationship was built upon time. It wasn't just built in an instant. Your big brother took care of you, and he showed up whenever you needed him to, and every time he gave his all to you or your father. So now you trust him. So faith is built via application of the law on many small things. The problem is that, well, it's not a problem, but most people come to the law of assumption and law of attraction when they're in trouble, and I was the same. I wanted to control my reality because I was in very, very bad, unfavorable circumstances, and this is the case with many people. So when they apply the law, they apply the law for a very big thing in their life. Now there is no big thing or small thing in the mind of God. God can manifest a planet just like it can manifest a small seed or small rock. It doesn't matter to the all, but it matters to our human conditioned consciousness. So to build faith, I think, and some people might disagree, but I think that applying the law of assumption for small things throughout the day, for so many things, again and again, it's much easier than trying to go in with the big thing. I'm not saying that the big thing will not manifest, but you have a lot of conditioned consciousness or limitations or limited beliefs attached to it. But if you apply the law of assumption like Neville Goddard taught, in state akin to sleep before sleeping, and you imagine a short scene, I don't care how big your desire is, it will manifest. Because Neville Goddard method guarantees self-persuasion. Because when you have really applied this law, because you apply the Neville Goddard's teaching in state akin to sleep, where your conscious mind is basically out, it's knocked out. And all that is left is the pure awareness of God that is within us, the inner man that Neville Goddard says, or the Christ within. There are so many names to it. And this awareness, once it is really able to imagine something completely with the tones of reality, it is done. The self-persuasion or the belief will automatically come. You will have to do nothing. So it doesn't matter big or small, doesn't really matter. But as Neville Goddard said repeatedly, be the doers of the work, not just merely hearers. So practice. And the way I have built faith in the law is, I have manifested so many small things. Like I told the story of manifesting a gaming laptop. It's $2,000 laptop. I could buy it by myself, but I couldn't justify spending $2,000 on a gaming laptop because it's something of it's a fascination, it's not a need. But I said it would be nice. I just imagined having a gaming laptop and a VR headset, and I got a job. The job, they searched me. I didn't even apply for no job. They just found me from LinkedIn, and I got this job, and they bought me laptop and VR headset, just like that, and I still have it. And so it's rainy, so the road is very bad. And so when you apply the law of assumption repeatedly on small things, not just huge mega things, you won't have to conjure up much faith, because small things, your consciousness is hopefully conditioned enough to accept so many small things. You're worthy of it. So you can manifest some gift from somebody, or getting some amount of money, and there are so many things that you can do. And once you do, you will forget about it, because it's a small thing. It's not a huge, like my life doesn't depend on a gaming laptop. I won't lose my marbles over it if I don't get it. But I imagined it and I let it go, and a few weeks later I had it. And that's how it works. And when you will keep on planting small seeds of so many things, You just imagine it. You don't even need to go to state again to sleep or nothing. You just imagine something, having it. You say, wouldn't it be nice to have it? And you just drop it. And you make it a practice throughout the day, not just before sleep, throughout the day. And whenever some desire occurs for something, every day-to-day life, you just imagine it, have it, and let it go. And what it does is, in a few days or in hours, or maybe some things immediately, they will start popping up like small little plants. Your manifestations will pop up from here, there, everywhere. And when you will see these things appearing in your world, no matter how much of a realist or scientific or whatever pragmatic person you are, you will realize that there is something to this consciousness. Like, how in the hell that I just imagine it and it appears. So this starts to get your belief going, your faith going, and you realize there is something to this teaching. And the more you do it, the more faith is built. Just like I told you that you cannot trust somebody randomly out of nowhere immediately. If you do, there is something wrong with something wrong with you. But if you trust your best friend is not your best friend out of nowhere. They are your best friend because they have stood the test of time. They have been with you, and they have showed up for you again and again and again. This is how faith is built. And faith, Neville Goddard says, is loyalty to the unseen. So you have to build faith in the unseen you, the one who is alive within you, the real you. And to build that faith, you have to start practicing him, right? Start building a relationship with the inner man by repeatedly calling upon him and calling his name and imagining him. His name is I am. So you can say, I am a proud owner of a cat. If you want a cat, for example, it's a small thing. Your life doesn't depend on it. And when you call his name and you say afterwards something, you are invoking the being within. Like, I am earning a lavish, steady, dependable income, doing something I love with ease. This is an affirmation I used a lot, and it has worked for me. And so faith is loyalty to the unseen, and the unseen is the deeper you, the essence of God within. And just like any relationship is built with anyone, faith and trust in the inner man is built by practicing and applying the law in your day-to-day life. And the big things will manifest too. I'm not saying here that you shouldn't go for the big things, but I am speaking from experience that if you're really talking about faith, a lot of people, because this question, all right, how do I build faith? Well, faith is simply practicing the law of assumption every day, again and again. And when the seeds that you have sown will start growing, faith is an automatic process after that. And as Neville Goddard said, challenged his students when he said them to apply the ladder experiment. If you don't know what the ladder experiment is, Neville Goddard challenged all his students, and especially the skeptics, that climb a ladder. Imagine that you're climbing a ladder, and imagine that step by step, every single movement, you're giving it the tones of reality. Do it before sleep every single night. And even in the day time, you can say, I will not climb a ladder. I will not climb a ladder. You can deny it. No matter how many, denial doesn't work. In our consciousness, if I tell you to not think of a pink elephant, you will think of a pink elephant. The denial doesn't work like that. So Neville Goddard told them that you can say throughout the day, I will not climb a ladder, but at night, every single night, imagine climbing a ladder and go to sleep, and you will eventually climb a ladder. And the success rate was very high, and a lot of students returned to his classes after that, and especially the skeptics who really took his challenge, like, I will prove him wrong, but they ended up proving him right. And they ended up climbing random ladders that they never thought that they will climb. And so that's how it works. You build this relationship with the inner man, and the way things will appear, they will appear in a way that you cannot devise, and it will not. The realist within you will end up having to believe in the spiritual reality. It has to, because Just like I told in the last video, that I have just bought a flat, and I imagined having 4.5 million rubles converted from US dollars into my account, exactly 4.5 million. And what are the odds of me getting exactly? Why not anything less? I think there were a few, just a few, like uh, 4 or 5 rubles up and down. I think 4 or 5 rubles more than 4.5 million. But what are this accuracy is just undeniable. You can't deny it, because I have zero control over the rates of these currencies, and I had zero control over the efficiency of my bank sending this money. I made this application a couple of days ago, and they sent it when they were ready for it. It's not like they did it immediately. So I had zero control over any of the exchange rate. I've told this entire story in that video, so you can watch that. But the thing is, the accuracy of 4.5 million in the receiving here in Russia is undeniable, that it would not have happened naturally anyway. The coincidence is beyond too many coincidences. It's just too perfect. So this is how you build the faith. Now I have very, very strong belief in the law because of this big thing that I manifested, but even more so that this 4.5 million just blew my mind. And it was looking back, I wasn't looking at the exchange rate. I was like, I left it on the inner man. And now when I have bought the house, after a few days I realized that, oh my god, it's exactly 4.5 million. And it boggles my mind. So that's how this law works, and this is how faith is built. And you will realize that things appear in ways that you would not have devised, and that builds your faith more so every single day. So practice in day-to-day life with so many things, and you will realize things popping up out of nowhere, and you will be like, wow, yeah, it works. So this is it for this video. Until next time, bye bye.